Hi, welcome to Wednesday. Let's get started. Quite a few letters. Um, my father-in-law is deaf. Can you tell me when the time comes for him to cross over and he is standing by his body's feet at the viewing? Will he at long last be able to hear his grandchildren's voices, and will his other health problems be gone also? This is from Patrick. Um, He will be totally whole and nothing will be wrong with him once he goes into the white light. He still has the same personality and likes and dislikes and illnesses when he is still earthbound. Now, he doesn't feel them, of course, but people that have lost parts and pieces, limbs, whatever, their body is whole because the spirit is never missing parts and pieces, just the body is. So, no, eventually he will definitely be able to hear his grandchildren. He will feel terrific when you finally dream of him. You will see how good he looks and how happy he feels. This one was a little strange. Mary Ann, please help. I think our ghost is putting brown recluse spiders in our house. We moved to Texas 2 years ago, and I had not seen a brown recluse spider ever until a few weeks ago. Since then, I have killed over 10 in the house the past 2 to 3 weeks. Just now, my daughter was about to put her toothbrush away in a cup, and a spider appeared in the cup. It hadn't been there before. I killed it, and she was walking back to the bedroom to put the cup back, and a black spider was in the cup, not a recluse. But my daughter doesn't know how it got there. I don't know what is happening. Also today, a dart from a blowgun that happens to be in our pantry was found shot through the wall completely. No one was in the pantry. The ghost did it. My daughter and I heard a noise in the pantry and went to see what had happened. I don't know if this can be caused by a ghost or not, but I'm having a hard time believing any other explanation. A few days ago, the ghost left a note on our computer desk, actually written on the wood, that told us where she had hid our piano book. When I pulled the family, either my 2 kids, me, or one of our 5 kids is going to get hurt. I'm afraid someone in the family, either my 2 kids, me, or one of our 5 pets is going to get hurt. Can you please come to my house? This is Candy from Denton, Texas. No, not coming to the house. Not anytime soon. You got a couple things going on here, Candy. Number one, you really don't need a paranormal investigator. You need Orkin or somebody to come in and kill the spiders in your house. Ghosts don't know how to put spiders in houses. That's not something that they could do. No, this has nothing to do with a ghost. Nothing. You just have some reason spiders. And I'm sure if you called, some kind of people that take care of that thing, they will be able to help you a whole lot better than a Ghostbuster. And uh, it's interesting with the dart. I don't know when exactly all this dart stuff happened, if it was the week working up to a full moon. The ghost possibly could have had enough energy to do something like that. I mean, does the dart gun have, or whatever this thing is, have a hair trigger, something that would be easy to do? Again, I'm not sure exactly how that is going to happen. Now, a few days ago, the ghost left a note on our computer desk. That is absolutely possible. Yes. And where they normally leave notes is when you get out of the shower and the window is foggy, the mirror is foggy. they usually leave notes there. I did have one ghost that left a note on a microwave oven because you could leave notes on that. But and they're pretty good with leaving notes on computers because to touch a key, it's not that hard. But I'm sorry, Candy, I just have no idea for sure what's going on. But like I said, I'm 100% positive that spiders have nothing to do with the ghost. This one is from a spiritual person in Chicago. My family recently moved into a relatively secluded home, which was once a Catholic priest's retreat home. We were told the home contained a full-fledged chapel, so I assumed it is consecrated ground. Since we have been in the house, I have never felt anything out of the ordinary, even though my teenage son says the house is haunted. Just last night, I had what may be my first experience. My question is, can a structure which is on consecrated ground have spirits in it? Yes, spiritual person, absolutely. An earthbound spirit can go anywhere it wants. I have done work for every denomination of church. Everyone. There is not... I can't think of one organization that I have not done work for. And yes, they can be in churches. They can be in holy grounds. Again, why not? If you seriously think something is going on, I would start smudging. This one is from Sue in Minnesota. I'm sure I felt a ghost breathing while it laid on my arm the other day. It was breathing quite fast, around 30 BP. Oh, that must be 30 beats per minute. And I could even feel the body moving with the breaths. I still believe it is a child, which brings me to one more question I have to ask. I was always taught if a child dies, they go straight to heaven because they are not bound to sin. So how is it there are child ghosts? Okay. A ghost can breathe on you. They can blow in your ear. They can blow on your back. They can absolutely do that. I think you are really aware of your surroundings if you could count the breaths. Very interesting. A child has free will just like an adult. And years ago, Catholics couldn't make their first communion until they were like over 7 or 8 years old, because at that point they were supposed to know right from wrong, so they could do, they could do a venial sin, a mortal sin, and again, the child is there at their funeral. The only ones that are not there are usually 3 and under. A grandma, a grandpa, a guardian angel, somebody comes and gets that baby. So children have free wills too. If a kid is even 5 years old, 6 years old, and he sees his mom and dad crying and carrying on at the funeral, they're not going to leave their mom and dad. So they do lose the light just like everybody else. And that's why children ghosts usually hang out with children, because kids like kids whether they're alive or dead. This one is from Bruno in Louisiana. He's got quite a few questions. First one, do you have any understanding as to why disembodied voices can be recorded, but we cannot always hear them with the human ear? Have you ever used a recorder while clearing a home to see if your conversations with the spirit have been captured on audio? No, I don't do that. Number one, I couldn't use something like that because it would die. If it has a battery in it, I can't touch it. I have no idea how those EVP things work. I don't use them. I don't know. So I really can't give you an answer to that. In one of your books, you told a story about some theater folks you opened the light for who went into the light. You later were called out to visit another large building, and you said you saw some of the same people there that you thought crossed over. Can these ghosts step into the white light and have it close behind them, decide not to cross over and return to remain on Earth? Or once they step in it, is it a one-way ticket? You need to read that story again in that book because you read it too fast. It was a theater, and there were a lot of earthbound spirits in this theater because theaters are full, and there were a lot of movie stars, old-time movie stars, silent movie stars that had been hanging out in this particular theater. I made the light, and all of them that wanted to go into it did go, but there were some that did not want to go. And again, I can't pick them up and throw them in. It's free will. But this particular area has 5 theaters in it. So they were just going to leave and go to one of the other theaters. And that's exactly what they did. So when I was doing a TV spot for one of the other theaters, it has beautiful winding stairs on both sides. I was standing there talking to the person that was going to be interviewing me, and down waltzes one of the movie stars that had been in the building where she had left, because she walked up to me and she asked me if I was going to kick her out of this one too. So once they go into the light, they go into the light. It's a one-way ticket into the light, but then if you believe in reincarnation, you can come back, but you have to do it after you've been into the light. And this last one, if spirits are able to return and visit loved ones after crossing over, how can you tell who is earthbound and who is not? I cannot see spirits that have crossed over, so I could be in a room with 15 earthbound spirits and I wouldn't know they're there anyway. I could only see the earthbound ones. And to me, they look totally whole. Hair color, eye color, the clothes they have on. The only difference is if I squinted a little bit, I would be able to see through them. Okay, and this one is from Peggy. In a home with earthbound ghosts, why would some of the people living there be affected by them and have health problems, and someone else living there be fine? I unfortunately am seemingly affected, but my husband, thank heaven, is not. My mother lives with us, and she doesn't seem to be affected either. I have always seemed to be sensitive and had encounters throughout my life. Is this the reason? Sometimes an earthbound spirit will bug a person if they know that that person senses that they are there, because nobody else in the house does. So if they're going to hang around you the most, you're going to have the biggest energy drain, and that's why your mom and your husband are in their own space. They're probably not even aware of it, and that's why you seem to be affected by it the most. And again, you can easily smudge so this doesn't happen. Okay. Let's see. Let's do one more, a short one. Some of these are pretty long this week. Okay. This one is from Yolanda in Brisbane, Old Australia. And hi, Marianne from down under. My question, my mother and I have always been close like sisters. About maybe 10 years ago, her personality seemed to have changed from happy and sociable to grumpy, antisocial, Almost a recluse, never a good word for anyone. I feel very negative around her. Then for short periods of time I get my old mum back, only to lose her again. I have put this down to old age, or her second husband's negativity, or being bitter about life. She is now 73. That's not that old. And two of her sisters are deceased, one who she did not get along with towards the end, and the other who relied on my mum a lot. I was hoping to be able to shed some light on this. From this far away in a letter, I cannot tell who's in the house, but there's a couple little hints here. Has anybody dreamt of the two sisters that have died? Because if nobody has dreamt of them, then it could be one of them that is hanging around your mother, making her moody like this. That's an absolute possibility. Plus the fact that if she is on any kind of prescription meds and they're hanging around with her, her pills may not be working, and that could make her moody also, because actually she just doesn't feel good. The other thing that's sort of interesting, negative energy. She may actually have negative energy on her. Maybe it was from the sister that she didn't get along with. That's a possibility too. What I would do is have your mother start taking baths with blessed sea salt soap, or putting some sea salt in a tub and soaking in it. Blessed sea salt is even better. And smudging will actually get rid of the negativity in the house. So try doing that. Okay, this is, here we are. Okay, tomorrow, the 17th, is Law of Abundance, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, so adjust it accordingly to your time zone. And on Friday, October 2nd, from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time again, I will be doing the Zoom. The one we did last week was really interesting. There were quite a few people on it, and it was really good. And every Wednesday from 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, like I did this afternoon or this morning, it is a YouTube Live. You write in questions, and I answer them, and good questions. So absolutely, again, you can also go to the website. There are now 99 of these YouTubes. Most of them are labeled, so if you're looking for an answer to a very specific question, watch one of the YouTubes. You might get your answer there. Thanks very much, and we'll catch you next week.